Hello students, welcome to the class. In the optics section, we are continuing our discussion with the refraction at plane surface. We have seen that mu is equals to real depth by apparent depth. Here the observer is in rarer medium. Observer is in rarer medium, which we have supposed our air, and object is in denser medium. This thing we have already read in the previous class. Also we have seen mu is equals to apparent height by real height. When observer is in denser medium and object is in rarer medium. Yokura, this matter has to be understood by all of you in a very careful way. Now we will try. What is this? This is the refractive index of the denser medium. This is the refractive index of the denser medium. Now what I would like to tell you, in the same discussion we will try to understand the example. We will clarify this concept in a better way by giving an example. For example, I would like to tell you, suppose a general example I am taking. Here is a example. Here is a vessel whose height is h and here is a fish. Here is a fish. Suppose here is a fish, and this height is your h by 2, and here is the eye, and this height from the surface is further your h. Liquid is there. The refractive index of this medium is your 4 by 3. Now the question is being asked. Find the height of eye according to fish. You have to tell the height of eye according to fish. In this situation, what we can do, the observer is fish, which is in denser medium. So what we have to apply? We have to apply this formula. Now in this formula, mu apparent height by real height. Whenever we are measuring the height, that measured from the surface. This surface, from surface we measure the height. So mu of the medium is your 4 by 3, and this is apparent height by real height is h according to the question. So apparent height is equals to 4h by 3. But this is not your answer. Why this is not your answer? Because what is the height of I according to the fish? So required height को मीनिंग क्या भयो? रिक्वायर्ड हाइट को मीनिंग क्या भयो? क्वेश्चन ले शोधे को हाइट. रिक्वायर्ड हाइट इज इक्वल्स टू दिस 4h/3 plus h/2, that is 6, 8 h plus 3h. That means this is your 11h/6. This should be your answer. Now this question, general question I have done because I want to tell you about this fact that this will continuously give the different value of h and you will be getting the different answer. So this is the question that I have generalized to make you understand the concept in a better way, and you will be feeling comfortable if you are able to solve this concept. And here we have used this apparent height by real height formula, the derivation that I have already discussed in the previous class, and this is the formula. Now one question I would like to discuss on this one. So let us try to understand this concept, that how we can use this real depth by apparent depth on the same level, same profile को question मदिंचु, and that we will try to understand. Now we are trying to discuss the second example. Second example is of similar nature. A vessel is there, same height is, depth is h, and at the here we have the fish. Here the fish is there and filled with liquid. The height, this remains h/2. Here I is there, the height remains the same, h, but this time the question has been framed in some different way. Here some plane mirror has been used, and the question says find the distance of image of fish as seen by eye. Now this is the question. Now think how you can do this question, how this question can be done, that the fish is here at a depth h/2 and here also the liquid, and refractive index mu is your 4/3. You have to tell that what is the, because this fish will have the image, so what is the distance of image of the fish as seen by eye. In this situation what we can do in this way, that this mirror is there. So what this mirror will do, this mirror will replicate, it will make a duplicate of same what is here. So at this height h, here will be your fish will be here, and this will be your h/2. It will replicate, this is replica of this one. So now if the eye is observed, for this we are using this formula because observer is eye and this eye is in rarer medium. So mu is equals to real depth by apparent depth. So what we can get, real depth is how much? Real depth is h plus h/2, that is 3h/2, and apparent depth we don't know, mu is your 4/3. So what we are getting? We are getting apparent depth is equals to 3h/2 into 3/4, that is 9h/8. So apparent depth we have got 9h/8, but this is not our answer. What is our answer? When in search of our answer we can write required distance. Required distance is equals to, this can be written as, required distance we can take, this is the apparent depth and from surface and plus h. So required distance is equals to h plus 9h/8, and this is giving you 17h/8. So this should be our answer. This is the thing that you have to understand. Here you should understand very carefully that in first case here is the fish, and when we take when it will replicate itself, the fish is here, image, and this image is observed by the eye here. So what we observe, this image will have the apparent depth 9h/8, and then the total distance if we will cover, then it should be this much. This should be your answer. So in this way we are now in a position to understand both real depth and apparent depth application of the problem, that we have understood this matter. Now what we would like to discuss, in this situation we have seen the Snell's law, we have seen the real depth and apparent depth, we have seen the lateral shift. Now we have to understand a very common phenomenon of the nature, that is total internal reflection. So our next discussion is total internal reflection. In this total internal reflection, two conditions are there. First condition is ray of light must go from denser to rarer. Denser to rarer. This is the first condition. And second condition is angle of incidence in the denser medium. Angle of incidence in the denser medium should be greater than critical angle. Should be greater than the critical angle. If these two conditions are satisfied, we can understand here this is denser, this is rarer, ray of light is going in this way from denser to rarer. So it is I, it is R, I1, R1, this is rarer, this is denser. And then we can understand, if the angle of incidence is increased, I greater than I1, R will be greater than R1. The same denser medium, rarer medium. This is your normal. If we further increase, then you will see that this is I is equals to C, critical angle, and here R is equals to 90 degree. This is normal, and this C is basically your critical angle. If you observe this critical angle, here the denser and here the rarer. Rarer medium, suppose we are taking air, so mu air is equals to 1. Mu air is equals to 1. Further, if I increase the angle of incidence here, if the angle of incidence I is greater than critical angle, then ray of light will come back in the same medium, and this phenomenon is known as total internal reflection, or in short we call TIR. This condition has to be satisfied. Now, if we apply the Snell's law here, then by Snell's law, here we can apply the Snell's law. By Snell's law, what we observe? We observe mu of denser medium into sin C mu of rarer medium 1 into sin 90. So what we are getting? We are getting mu of denser medium is equals to 1 by sin C. This is a very useful formula that we have to remember definitely while discussing with total internal reflection. This formula has to be remembered throughout the discussion of total internal reflection. Now, if you will say that here this is denser medium, if here is some other medium, then we cannot take the air, then we have to write in this way that refractive index, suppose this is not air. If it is not air, then we can write mu denser into sin C is equals to mu rarer into sin 90, and then mu denser by mu rarer, this must be equals to 1 by sin C. This has to be understood very carefully, that if rarer medium is other than air, we have to use this formula. So this is the way we are trying to understand this total internal reflection. This total internal reflection has many uses, and optical fiber is based on this total internal reflection. Totally reflecting prism is also there, and many uses are there of this total. Mirage is being formed, looming is there. So all these phenomena are based on the phenomenon of total internal reflection. So this phenomenon appears very simple, but the application and the numerical portion of this phenomenon is little bit different and difficult in nature, virtually difficult, not really difficult. If conceptual clarity is there, you can very easily get the answer, but the conceptual clarity is required. Now let us try to do few numericals based on this concept. Now suppose that one example I am giving you, one example. Suppose there is a cubical transparent block. This is a cubical transparent block. Cubical, it is cube, and a ray of light is incident at an angle 45 degree. This is the ray of light that is incident. After refraction, it falls on this surface, but no light emerges out. No light emerges out at this surface. When no light emerges out at this surface, then they are asking what is the minimum value of mu so that this condition is satisfied. A transparent cubical block is there, a ray of light is incident, this is your normal at an angle 45 degree. After refraction it falls on the adjacent face inside. Here no light emerges out. In order to satisfy this condition, what should be the minimum refractive index of this transparent glass cube? This is your transparent glass cube. You have to find the minimum value of refractive index which will satisfy this condition. Now this is not a simple question. This question needs proper understanding and application of the phenomenon of total internal reflection, and then only you are in a position to solve this question. So how to solve this question? In order to understand this, what I would like to tell you, ध्यान दिए रहेगा, if I drop here a normal, this is the normal, then for total internal reflection, for no emergence of light, this light should go either in this direction or in this direction. So if I suppose this angle to be theta, this theta must be greater than C. Now you see, now this is normal, so r plus theta is equals to 90 degree. R plus theta is equals to 90 degree. So theta is equals to 90 minus r. When theta is equals to 90 minus r, for total internal reflection at this particular point, what we want? We want that theta should be greater than or equal to C. Greater than or equal to C. So theta should be greater than equal to C. This means 90 minus r should be greater than equals to C. If 90 minus r should be greater than equals to C, we have I. This is I. We don't have r. So to get r, what I am taking? I am taking the sine function. So sine 90 minus r should be greater than equals to sine C. That means cos r should be greater than equals to sine C. Now here you see carefully, mu is equals to sine I by sine r. So sine r is equals to sine I, sine 45 degree by mu, and sine 45 is 1 by root 2, so 1 by root 2 mu. Sine r is equals to 1 by root 2 mu. Here we have cos r. So how to get sine r? I am squaring it. So this will give you cos square r should be greater than equals to sine square C. Squaring both sides. Now we can write cos square r as 1 minus sine square r. So this can be written as 1 minus sine square r should be greater than equals to sine square C. Sine square is how much? 1 by root 2 mu. So I can write here 1 minus 1 by root 2 mu square should be greater than equals to sine square C. Mu is equals to 1 by sine C. So it is 1 by mu square. So this will give you 1 minus 1 by 2 mu square should be greater than equals to 1 by mu square. Now see carefully. Therefore, 1 should be greater than 1 by mu square plus 1 by 2 mu square. This is telling you 1 should be greater than equals to 3 by 2 mu square. This is telling you mu square should be greater than equals to 3 by 2 and mu should be greater than equals to 3 by 2 under root. Now try to understand the value of mu. This is the condition of total internal reflection that I have applied. Now the value of mu should be greater or equal to 3 by 2. So mu minimum is equals to how much? Mu minimum is equals to 3 by 2 under root, and this should be our answer. So see that this is a question that you should understand very carefully in order to solve the problem of total internal reflection. And if you have the clarity of concept of total internal reflection and you are in a position to apply the concept of total internal reflection, then only you can solve this problem. This is very important to understand. Now you should understand one more thing very carefully, that sometimes the same question can be asked in this way, that suppose here is a interface. Lower side there is some liquid and upper side suppose air is there, or this is water. If this is the situation, here you see, if this is the height and here is the ray that is going out and this angle is critical angle, then this is the way this is the radius r, and if the height of this point is below this, then total internal reflection will take place and no light will go out. So through this cone, if a fish is here, this outer world will be visible to the fish here, or the maximum height, maximum is this depth up to which this can be visible to the observer. Limiting case is there. Now if h is given, mu is given, how can you find the value of this radius, that this conical portion, how can you find the radius? In order to find this radius, what I would like to tell you, you do in this way, that mu is equals to 1 by sin c. Mu is equals to 1 by sin c. This angle is c, so this angle is also c. This angle is also c. If I take this angle as c, sin c 1 by mu. My main objective is to find the radius. This radius is equals to how much? Now here what I would like to tell you, sin c is equals to perpendicular by hypotenuse. So sin c can be written as r by hypotenuse is how much? H square plus r square under root. H square plus r square under root, and this is equals to 1 by mu. So if we increase, if we square both sides, what we are getting? We are getting r square by h square plus r square is equals to 1 by mu square, or we can write mu r square is equals to h square plus r square, or mu square r square is equals to r square plus s square, mu square minus 1 into r square is equals to h square. This r we have taken to this side. So r square h square by mu square minus 1. So therefore r is equals to h by mu square minus 1 under root. This is the radius. This is the radius of this circular cone through which the outer world is visible to this fish. If this height is increased, so what we can say? By this, here are three quantities, 1, 2 and 3. Any two will be given to you and third can be asked. So 1, 2 and 3 quantities are there. Any two can be given to you and third can be asked. So this is also the application of your total internal reflection, and using total internal reflection we can find whether if r and mu is given we can find h, if h and r is given we can find mu, if mu and h is given we can find r. This should be clearly understood by you people. Now one more thing is very common term that is being used, that is known as your vertical shift. Vertical shift. What is this vertical shift? In the discussion of real depth and apparent depth, we have seen that if here is a coin or object and this is the here is the image that is being formed, and there is the liquid whose refractive index is mu, AO is your real depth, AI is your apparent depth. AO is real depth and AI is apparent depth. So what we can say here, OI is called vertical shift. OI is called vertical shift. What does it mean? The image is here but the object is here but its image is here. So vertically it has shifted from here to here in the vertical direction. Here is your observer. Now how to find this vertical shift? Vertical shift, if I am taking this distance as t, real depth I am taking as t, then you see OI is equals to AO minus AI. AO is what? T. AI is what? AI is apparent depth. So apparent depth is real depth by refractive index. Mu is equals to real depth by apparent depth. So apparent depth is equals to real depth by mu. Real depth is t. So t into 1 minus 1 by mu. This is your OI, and this gives the expression for vertical shift. So all of you should understand that question can be framed on this concept also. So in this way, the refraction at plane surface we have covered, and we have tried to cover all the portions that are required for your examination. In examination, generally the question is being asked from this section only. It may be helpful if you will pay the attention and apply this concept in a magnified ways. The entrance examination can also be covered within the same discussion. So thank you. Have a nice day.